So y'all have spoken, and I just got freaking dust in my eyes. Oh my god, that's a way to start it off. But y'all have spoken, so you're gonna want to watch this video. That's for sure, as you can tell by the thumbnail. But what's going on, guys? It's your boy Kimbo here. Time for a little discussion video. So, I think it was like a couple days ago, something like that. I put out a poll, and that poll basically asking like what you guys watch on here. So, of course, with my channel, you guys know I'm diverse with what I do. Mainly, it's Beyblade and Bakugan content on here. But even with that, that's diverse in itself because two different games and everything, but also how diverse each of those games are. So of course Beyblade having all the different gens, Bakugan having the different gens and everything. So I figured why not do a fun little test to see like what everybody's interested in on here. And it's wild because it shows how much of a melting pot my channel is, but also how the roots still linger with it. So, the whole backstory. Channel started in April 2012. This year will be my 12-year anniversary on April 29, 2012. That's the first day I technically call it. The first day was technically like a video that I made on the 10th or something of April. It was for a giveaway, and I decided to put that video out. So it's like, hey, this is the first video like actually made, even though it was like a little, video for a giveaway. But yeah, man, this April will be 12 years that I have been doing content on here. So originally started with, of course, honestly, both Beyblade and Bakugan. People think it was just Metal Fight Beyblade when it started back then, 12 years ago, but it was also Bakugan. It was the tail end of Bakugan because it was ending in 2012, and then went on hiatus until we saw it return in 2018. Well, technically 2019, but 2018 with the Invitational. Still can't believe I got invited to that shit. It still just blows my mind. You guys know. But yeah, always being both Beyblade and Bakugan out here. So figured why not actually do a poll and see what everybody's interested in watching. And I'm going to address every single thing I do on here for sure. First things first, before getting into it, I love all of y'all, whether you're a fan of Beyblade, whether it's Bakugan, or even specific Beyblade. Like if you're a Metal Fight Gen fan, if you're a Burst fan, if you're a Beyblade X fan, for Bakugan, if you're a Gen 1 fan with the old school, if you're a Gen 2 fan with the TCG and such, or even a fan of Gen 3. And I'll be addressing all those different things with this. And it's insane because you could tell how much of a melting pot the channel is because of the results. Like even your guys' votes and everything, 4 out of the 5 options were literally neck and neck closeness with like the percentage that people watch, with the top one being Metal Fight Beyblade. And that's crazy because like it started 12 years ago, and that there's so many Metal Fight fans still out there. It shows people love Metal Fight big time. You see even me, like a bunch of people like Bay Legacy and such, making videos about Metal Fight to this day. And it's so awesome seeing that, man, that people love Metal Fight even after all these years. And each gen has a special place in my heart for sure. Metal Fight especially because it's how I started my channel, and y'all know I even made a skit series on both like the regular Metal Fight and also Zero G because I love them that much. Paid homage to people with them, watched through the series so many times, and made the skits with that. I plan on doing the same thing for Burst. It's just long-term storytelling. That's the big time thing on my channel, is long-term storytelling. You won't see everything overnight, and you see it be a slow build, that being like all the battles I do culminating with team battles, or comparison between different brands, which I'm getting to with the very tail end of Burst. When I get through all the Burst battles, I'm going to be doing, the BU Plus battles. I'm going to be doing big time comparison battles, like how I've been doing for each gen. Next up is honestly Super King versus Surge. And then it's going to be like Dynamite Battle versus Quad Drive, Quad Strike versus BU, those types of comparisons going all the way through until we get like DB versus BU, DB versus BU plus, BU versus BU plus, because my Burst Ultimate series that I'm doing right now. But yeah, a lot of different plans for sure. They all build up and culminate to that point. And once I get through those battles, Burst is going to be on a hiatus for some time, besides my skits, So yeah, I guess this is the part addressing the Burst fans, So I'm not done with Burst. You guys still see a lot of content with it on the regular, all the 1v1s, and I know it's taking up a lot of like even the videos and the time and everything, because cycling through Burst, getting all the things I have planned up here, because I like going beyond the realms of things that we see, as you can tell by like the BU Plus series. It's showing the plus, like the up potential even of Burst. Will it involve 3D printing? Technically, this series can go on as long as they're 3D prints for bays, but it also is expensive and costs money, But yeah, So once I get through that, Burst stuff's gonna go on hiatus. Besides like the skits, because the skits are the story that I'm gonna be telling and such, and getting back into that. There's a bunch of episodes to go and watch and all that good stuff. But yeah, I guess I addressed the burst stuff with that. So that's for the burst fans. You already know. Before getting into anything else, I'm gonna be making playlists of a lot of different things because I make a lot of different battles and like videos and everything. I'm gonna be updating some playlists as well. Like one being the homage series for Metal Fight Beyblade. Even the BU Plus battles, BU battles, etc., etc. I'm gonna start making more playlists, and I'm gonna update like the channel and everything because making so many videos since I've updated it, really, really updated it the last time. I need to make some more playlists and update them so that way you guys can access what you want to watch, no matter what fan you are. And that being the big thing I'm saying that's universally for everybody who's a Beyblade fan, Bakugan fan of a certain gen of Beyblade, fan of a certain gen of Bakugan, all be in playlists. It's going to take some time to do because obviously there's 10,000 videos on here, but I'm going to be updating the playlist. And while doing that, it'll take up a bunch of time. So I have a bunch of videos coming for the better part of the next couple days, but then after that you might see a couple days where like not as many videos or anything. Still a lot planned, but even sorting through all those videos and making playlists and everything is going to take time for sure, and updating things on here. Also with that, I'm going to be working on making merch. So like spring, also Redbubble. Anybody makes any merch or anything on there and can give me any pointers or tips and such, feel free to get a hold of me and let me know, because it's something I've been wanting to do for some time, is actually make some merch, because being an artist and drawing some designs and everything, would absolutely love to do so, and gonna work on getting those as a thing. So yeah, because every bit that you guys like donate and such, obviously you don't have to, but it really helps out things with the channel. I'm an adult like anyone else, got bills to pay and such, and that's why sometimes it might take a little bit longer to see releases. I just got Wyvern Gale pretty recently, but doing all the battles and such with it. But yeah, so I guess that being all the stuff for burst, and then also Beyblade actually, just keeping up with the releases and everything. I absolutely love the X Gen, love the metal, love how they have the gimmick with like the burst and everything. You see how Beyblade's truly evolved to this point, and it's freaking awesome, dude, for sure. It's so awesome. I love this gen, can't wait to see what else is coming for it. But yeah, so I guess the last thing for Beyblade being Metal Fight. Now this is the one that got the most votes. Like half of you guys voted for Metal Fight. And it's insane to see it be at that level. Like everything else is balanced, and then you see Metal Fight being like half of the votes. So there's a lot of Metal Fight fans, And the question is, have I stopped doing Metal Fight completely? I have not. With my burst skits, if you haven't been able to tell, like go and watch some of those episodes, because it's episodes just like the show, except I'm doing the theme being like pieces to a puzzle, so they're gonna happen throughout time, and it's literally every skit is like adding a piece to that entire puzzle, but there's a lot of pieces with the puzzle, and over time you'll see the story, you'll see how all the pieces fit together and the overall full picture, and it's gonna be awesome. That's how you do with the storytelling, just building level by level by level, and that's how it's gonna be for this. Been a little bit since I made skits, because just for sake of time and such, I've been doing a lot and wanting to get through a few other projects before jumping back into the skits, getting through stuff fully that I want to burst wise before getting fully into the skits. But I've been doing footage for skits, and there's going to be a skit coming hopefully by the end of this month. So yeah, keep an eye out for that, and the playlist should be updated for that. And there's also the 2 skit series I did before. Those playlists are fully on here. So, you can go and watch those, and all of these skits, every single one. So that means the Metal Fight ones, the Zero G ones, and now the Burst ones, all in the same world. Doing what TT and Hasbro didn't do, like all connected in the same world, but it's just like the theme of time going by with each one, because like historically, Yeah, and if you wonder, in time will there be Beyblade X skits? When the time comes, there will be. But for now, getting into Burst, and everything is going to be on the table. You already know, man. I'll just leave it with that. So talking about the skits with that. But getting into Metal Fight stuff, I do have my homage series that I have been working on for some time. Like I cycled through and did battles. I'm sure like if you've been a fan for like the past decade or even a long time, did a lot of Beyblade, Metal Fight Beyblade battles and such. And then even made the skit series. After the skit series, it was always a plan to do an homage series. That being going through, using all the bays, and going through the actual show, like, battles that happen in the show, like the survival battle, for example, in Metal Fusion, and then the Windy City tournament where like Kyoya won and got 10,000 points. All of those battles and such chronologically through the show. I went all the way through Metal Fusion, all those battles. Metal Masters did the same thing, every single team battle and such. And then I also did Dream Team battles, to show who's the strongest team. And it's insane how that went. Metal Fury, same thing, going through and doing all the battles with Legendary Bladers Awaken, Shogun Steel or Zero G, all the battles all the way up to DNA. And this is where I've left it off. I haven't stopped doing the Homage series. They're the big battles in the Giant Stadium, which I know a lot of people like. I'm not completely done with it. The end just involves 3D printing. So there were 3 Beyblades that were never created, that are in the show. So that, of course, being Baihu Shao's Berserker Byakko, and then Karua, I think was his name, had Guardian Garudus. And then there's Phantom Fenrir, which was owned by Doji, who actually lived, and became a robot, if you will. He became part of Merci. But he had a Bey at the end, Phantom Fenrir. Those 3 Beys were never made by Takara Tomy, so it made it impossible to do that arc. But with the power of 3D printing, people designing, that being Zera, and also Benchblade recently did one as well. Berserker Byakko has been created. Now, main thing is getting Guardian Garudus and Phantom Fenrir created. I want to work with people on it, or see somebody actually go in, look at the stats for those Beys and everything and all the pieces, and get the files to print them. If anybody does that, 1, I will save up to get one, and I will put a video on here of it. 2, it'll make it where the Metal Fight Homage series continues, and I can go through more. And 3, I'll give the link to whoever, so that way they can go to the shop and get it, whoever prints it and such. I really want to see those Beys made, but that's the reason why it stopped. I've literally done all the battles up until a new fight. Well, even the tournament battles, going into DNA's base, that's the point where I'm at now. But Guardian Garudus and Phantom Fenrir are not being made. So, Garudus and Fenrir are required to do those remaining battles. After that, I plan on doing comparison battles like how I'm doing for Burst, Metal Fight as well. PHW versus Metal Fusion versus Metal Masters, etc., etc. All of those battles I want to do. Just like how I'm doing for the Burst Beys. And then when I get through all of those battles, when Garudus and Fenrir are made, ending it off with a big time no, the ultimate exclamation, and then that being the true final Metal Fight Beyblade video. I guess in that case for the anime Beys and stuff, because at that point there'll be literally nothing left to prove. All the battles I did a decade ago, leading up to this point, throughout the last decade, making my own series not once but twice with Metal Fight Beys, and then doing the Homage series, that would be all the plans for it. But it's not completely done, and I will say that. But I definitely plan on making a bunch of playlists with a lot of the Metal Fight Beyblade battles that I've done, because they've been on here for a long time, and I know there's a lot of content. There's 10,000 videos, so I'm going to update the playlist for sure. So yeah, with that said, everything about Beyblade for all the Beyblade fans. Now getting into the Bakugan fans, and first things first to all of y'all, I love you guys so much, and I also apologize because I know there has not been that much Bakugan content in a good amount of time, And for sure with that, people have been like, oh, did he just give up Bakugan? Is he not doing it anymore? The answer is a hard hell no. I'm still doing Bakugan for sure, Just life being busy and having a lot of stuff to do and all these projects and everything with Beyblade never meant to push Bakugan on the back burner. I'm a fan of Gen 3. Just it's been super inconsistent with the releases around here. It's been just waves 1 and 2 for Gen 3. And been caught up with those. I haven't hardly seen anything else above that. The latest thing I saw was going to a Five Below and saw some of the mythics, and I didn't have those. And literally that Five Below, that's the only place I can really go back and get stuff, because everything else has just been lingering. I'll go and try to do some Bakube hunting sometime soon, but it's really just been barren when it comes to new stuff. So yeah, if anything new shows up on the shelves, you already know. I'll work on picking some stuff up, but it's been really, really barren. It's been really, really even with how the releases were for Gen 2, it's been different, much less for Gen 3, at least my way. Maybe in some places it's been keeping up pretty well, but out here, not really. Even trying to find stuff online is tough. But yeah, so I'm a fan of Gen 3. I gotta get into watching the show. And it is different, so honestly not as much hype as Gens 1 and 2. But hopefully getting into the show and watching all the episodes will help out big time. And I know at this point all the episodes are out, so I'm going to be working on doing episode reactions for that once I get through, the things I have planned and such. But yeah, and of course, the Gen 2 fans, Gen 2 ended and then switching to Gen 3 being big time different. Even with the potential of Gen 2 and not going further, I know it's like, hey, are you done doing the content just because like Gen 2 is not around? The answer is no. I'm not done. I'm not done at all. I've got a lot of profiles and such to work on. Like I said, I'm gonna be making profiles and stuff until I literally run out of like cards and Bakugan to use, because still having a good roster. So you're gonna be seeing a lot of deck profiles. There's literally 111 deck profiles that I've made so far. And I know it's been a little bit, but they're all on a playlist. And like I said, I'm gonna update the playlist and stuff on the page and such, because I've been putting out a lot of content since I really updated it. But I'm definitely not done with Gen 2 content. I love Gen 2 of Bakugan. I think, honestly, like performance-wise and how they designed the game, peak. I love Gen 1. I've watched Gen 1 since literally it first came out when I was like in high school, going into high school, like middle school, high school, when Bakugan first came out, and I love Gen 1. Bits and pieces, I'll go back and maybe get a Bakugan that I don't have and such, because I've got a pretty good sized collection, for the old school Bakugan. But yeah, if there's any that are like really interesting that don't have in the collection, that's the main thing it is with Gen 1 Bakugan at this stage. Gen 2, of course, like kept up with everything, and now just wanted to show it off with all the TCG videos and deck profiles and getting those started on here again, because I love deck building, and it's been a minute since I've actually made a new profile, and definitely need to do so. It just takes a lot more time to sit down and sort through the cores and the Bakugan, the cards and everything, and make a true profile that you want to work with. So it just takes time, compared to like cranking out like battles with Beyblades and such that can go like boom, 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 But yeah, there will be more profiles. Give you my word on that. And you already know, man. And with Gen 1 stuff, maybe I can even make videos talking about like characters that I like from, the different gens. Because there's a lot of different awesome characters that I really, really enjoyed their story and such. If you guys want to see something like that, like even a Bakugan discussion video on like different characters and how I think like, they were developed as characters, let me know in the comments, but yeah, or even like favorite characters and such from the series, or like most powerful blader. I mean, I did the most powerful blader list, I believe, for like Metal Fight, for Beyblade. I guess at this stage, maybe I could do it for Burst based off of each season. And then even for like Bakugan, maybe same thing. If you guys want to see some videos like that, let me know in the comments. But yeah, so it's something I realized and I've known for a long time, like really, really diverse content on here. And so with that, everybody has their own niche or like their own flavors with things. You could have people who are both Beyblade and Bakugan fans but enjoy the older gens, or maybe you're a fan of the newer gens, or maybe you're just a Beyblade fan or a Bakugan fan, or even shows like the particulars that you guys really enjoy, like being a strict Metal Fight Beyblade fan, or a strict Burst fan, strict Beyblade X fan, strict Gen 1 Bakugan fan, strict Gen 2 Bakugan fan, strict Gen 3 Bakugan fan, but hopefully the channel being a melting pot big time for all those things, because I love Beyblade and Bakugan, the two things I love big time, including like gaming. I love Pokemon, Zelda, of course art, drawing, and you guys can even tell by like my arm, like the different things I like. Even like there's a Slade tattoo, Teen Titans, got like all kinds of Bakugan tattoos, Beyblade tattoos, yeah, and anybody who doesn't know, I even have a tattoo for the boy Illinuk. And also, you see it right there, Bolto MS. Shout out to them. You already know, man. Yeah. And also like a unicorn one, because like the storytelling with the skits, and also Unicorn Extreme GT. And also Unicorn being one of the top bays. Like I love the storytelling for Masamune. But yeah, man. Hopefully I was able to address everything with this video and such. It's all long-term. I'm a long-term storyteller, so Rome wasn't built in a day, and things don't happen overnight, but you see how things build. So even each of these videos, it's like telling a story, like all the battles and such. Like even with the Ice Stadium, for example, the Ice Stadium battles I'm doing right now, it's an overall tournament. So the bays that are winning, I'm putting off to the side, and we're going all the way through until we see who's the strongest at the end. It also just depends on the weather, because like even today, it's like in the 40s, so it's like not freezing. I made an Ice Stadium, but I don't even know if the damn thing's frozen. It could be just water, but I can go and try it out and see if it's gonna work. But yeah, if not, just wasn't meant to happen today. And I think in a few days it's supposed to get colder, but it's one of those things I have to like keep an eye on the weather too with it in order to build up for the battles. But not too many left to go. But overall, like, they're intense. But, you know, just got to make sure the weather's right, because if it's too warm, it could rip through the bottom of the stadium. And then with that, you know, that happened in one of the videos. And it happens usually with like each batch of battles with the ice stadium, you know. But overall, it's a story. Like, this is a big time tournament going to culminate seeing who's the strongest at the very end of it. And it's also showing off the BU bays. This will be the last time you see them besides like the big time gen comparison battles after I get these ice stadium battles. Then the BU plus bays to show off the modded bays that I've done, showing off their power, their full potential, getting through that, circling through those. And then I'll probably do some battles on the ice stadium with them, but there's not nearly as many as like the BU bays, you know. If the weather permits it and I can get to that point, you know. Always got a bunch of ideas going up here. But yeah, you know, just know there are plans for everything. And it's all long-term storytelling with all of them. So yeah. And we're getting to the point where like there's not that much for Metal Fight Beyblade. And that's the thing that started, and even here we are 12 years later and still making content for it. Not as much, but once you see like Garudis and Fenrir get made and they become actual bays and I'm able to get my hands on them, gonna go with it for sure, because I love doing the giant stadium battles for sure, man. We just got to get those bays made. It's gonna take 3D printing to do so, but I believe it's possible. I mean, we got Byakko, so Garudis and Fenrir, those two get made. You already know, man. Get all the way through and go all the way through the MFB Homage series, the remaining parts, and the rest of the battles I want to do. But yeah, and also, you know, building up things for Bakugan, things on both sides of the spectrum. But anyways, guys, I guess that's going to do it for this update video. I guess I'll name it I love you all, because I literally do. You guys are the absolute goats. You guys are the absolute best. And it just blows my mind, like, seeing that poll, how balanced things are and how many people are still so interested in Metal Fight Beyblade. And, you know, it's never gone away. It's just been, I've done a lot of stuff with it over the years. But just know the burst skits do include some MFB bays. None of the ones that were included with the previous skits, I will say that. But yeah, almost none. I'll just leave it at that. You'll see. And with the skits, I like being a mystery about it. So like the pieces to the puzzle, you know, I like mystery a lot. So a little bit of like the mysterious theme of like what's going on. Overall in the skits, I'll explain it briefly. Basically, there's a whole thing called the Great Decree. There's so many bays showing up and such because times passed after the events of the Burst show, and including Quad Strike, a lot of times passed and such. So a lot of different development and builds and such with that. And so many bays have appeared where there's this thing called the Great Decree, and more bays are showing up constantly, like consistently, more and more and more and more bays showing up. So the Great Decree is happening. The Great Decree is basically a big declaration, and the declaration is like for a battle. So it's different tiers of battles and such. So it's building up, all these bays coming in, building up to the different arcs of the big battle, leading to the culmination of the big battle. And then each arc will have that major battle. So yeah, and you'll see how it builds over time, and a lot of different things with it. The theme is time, and it's like the puzzle pieces. So it's like different battles happening throughout time, and it's like, when exactly did it happen in this time period? That's why it says 100+ years. A big emphasis on the plus. Also, the plus system, because implementing the plus system with the skits. A lot of different things with it, man. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be updating the playlist on here big time. So you're going to be seeing like a major overhaul of how even things look on the front page. That way that can get updated, because I know I made a lot of content. So I'm going to get those in playlists and everything. So there's some stuff for everyone. But yeah, and I'm going to end this off by just asking you guys, are there any playlists that you want to see get updated big time that haven't been updated? You know, I'm not perfect. It's been a long time, and I put out like quite a bit of stuff with each one. If there are any playlists that you guys enjoy watching through that aren't complete, let me know in the comments. The skit ones are complete. At least like the Metal Fight Beyblade skit ones. The skit event order one is the thing. And then just the Skittles one in general, there's that one, but it's mainly the skit event order. That's the whole first Metal Fight Beyblade skit series in that playlist. The second one, you know, the Zero G skit series, that one's also complete. So the whole story was told for that. Now there's the Burst ones. That one's obviously not complete because the story's ongoing, but I'm pretty sure I have all of the skits made to this day in a playlist on that one. So yeah, so if you want to see like Beyblade X playlists, any more burst playlists, like I could do a BU plus one because I've got my BU plus series going on right now, or any like battles like that. Just let me know in the comments. I'll take any of you guys' ideas for some big time playlists, and I'll take them all into consideration, and I'm gonna update uh, the page. So yeah, guys, I guess that's gonna do it. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to slice that like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, definitely be sure to subscribe for some epic content because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring that bell by my channel name to be notified whenever I upload a video. For the next couple days, you're going to be seeing Beyblade X battles because obviously getting Wyvern Gale recently. Gonna do the like anime battles with Cat over, Wyvern Gale. I've been putting a few of them out. That's what's going to be coming out for the rest of the day, and also a couple of Ice Stadium battles that I did manage to fit in before the stadium broke. And then even like I made a video like breaking the stadium again, because might as well just show it off in its full glory as much as possible before it just gets Kirkpatrick and just something like satisfying about like, oh, Ice Stadium, It's just like when you take a giant chunk of ice and you throw it and then it just goes on the ground and just, But yeah, guys. Anyways, that's going to do it. Till next time, it is your boy Kimbo signing off. See you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Until then, stay awesome and go shoot or let it rip or Bakugan Brawl. I'm up out of here.